What's causing all this?
It is compelling because we can just look back a few generations for sure, but even just a couple decades and see less thyroid disease and less gluten sensitivity, less gluten allergy, less celiac disease. Our group, at least, has really started to focus back on that story of the soil and our bigger ecosystem. And the soil, back in the 1940s, started to really change. And what happened is we changed our farming techniques. And our farming techniques historically was crop rotation and composting and reintegration of organic material into that to foster booming bacterial health in the humus layer, the top layer of the soil. What we saw happen in the 1940s coming out of World War II is we refocused our petroleum industry to start producing nitrogen, phosphorus fertilizers. And so we departed from age-old practices of composting and fertilization to one of this nitrogen petroleum process. And so with that, we started to lose bacterial diversity, and we started to lose the bacterial health of that humus layer of soil. And the root membrane around a plant system ends up looking a lot like our intestinal lining. It has all these little fibers reaching out for nutrient, just like the little villi in our intestines. And the bacteria, again, are maintaining the healthy membranes of those roots and helping traffic nutrients into that plant. And so long before we got leaky gut, we got leaky plants, and we started losing the ability to traffic healthy nutrients from soil into plants. Of course, we started losing mineral diversity as well in the soil, and so there weren't even the nutrients to get in eventually. And so we're lacking the bacteria, and we're lacking the nutrients to get into the plant.
Which means the nutrients that we're eating from that tomato or that green bean or whatever.
That's exactly right. And so suddenly the tomato offers far less biodiversity to our body. Each species of bacteria have niche purposes within the digestive and metabolic process. And so if we're eating thousands and thousands of nutrients each day, we demand thousands of species to maintain and help metabolize and feed us. If we boil it down to just a couple crops like we have in our modern food system, where we're basically eating entirely some version of corn or soybean because of the feed that we give our animals, that monoculture has created almost no biodiversity on the plate. So monoculture on the plate, there's no pressure for us to have biodiversity in the intestines, so we lose it. Simultaneously, of course, we've also created the antibiotic industry, and we've been killing bacteria for 50 years now. And so we've done that certainly to the humans with lots of antibiotic use medically, but maybe 80 to 90% of the antibiotics used in this country are actually put into animal feed. And so that huge burden of antibiotic exposure through our food again is really where we're losing this incredible biodiversity that we once had.